welcome back to my channel, Creation RN. I got a lot of questions after posting a video about travel housing options, whether it be taking apartments or potentially, living in an RV. And the best person that I could think to come on and talk about it is my husband.
Yeah.
This is Ty. He actually lived with me during one of my times of being a travel nurse, so I thought that, he would have a little bit more insight in regards to the pros and cons. So today's video is going to be about the pros and cons of travel nursing in an RV. So like anything, you want to start off with the pros of anything. So one of the things that I want to start off with is the fact that you do not have to pack and unpack your things when you live in an RV.
Yeah. I mean, when you live in an RV, you pretty much bring all your essential with you. So, once you, put everything in the RV, no matter what assignment we went to, it's always there. You don't have to go home and unpack and repack or change stuff. You pretty much live on what you got.
Exactly. And you never have to worry about, going into an apartment that they provide with you through the travel agency and having to pack all your stuff up again and move to your next location. You can just literally move your house with you.
Exactly.
Wherever
and it
you go.
make you more feel like home.
Yeah.
More homey style, because you already put all your decoration together. You have your favorite stuff on certain corner. You don't have to rearrange everything every time you move.
Everything's set up the way that you want it.
Exactly.
So that's one huge pro in regards to living in an RV. Another pro with living in an RV is you can travel with your family and your pets. So for those who don't know, we actually have 2 dogs. Well, now we have more than that, but at the time we only had 2 dogs. One being Chewy and our other one is on the floor, Chubby, and they actually traveled with us. We didn't have to worry about paying pet deposits wherever we went, so,
And they're more comfortable because they're familiar with the trailer or fifth wheel that you have, and they more feel like home. That's another plus.
Exactly. And you have everything you need. And it's not like, you forget something when you travel that's for your family or for your pets. It's always there with you. And I think it really makes your family more comfortable too, because you always have a place to go back to that you can call your own.
Exactly.
Another pro is rent is usually lower at an RV park than taking or allowing the company to keep your stipend to pay for apartment housing. We lived at an RV park with a monthly rent, I think it was like $650, which is way less than having to pay for 3 months living in an apartment.
And for the trailer itself, it depends on what kind you get. Normally range from $200-300 a month. They're calling that premium trailer already. And when you think about it, that's investment.
Right.
$300 you keep putting on investment. That's something you own, no matter what it is. It's a benefit.
And it's actually tax deductible too.
Exactly. It's a tax deductible item. Everything that you put into the trailer or fifth wheel is an investment that you can eventually sell and get your money back for it.
Yeah. So not only are you able to keep your stipend and save money, but you're also getting tax benefits with it as well, versus living in an apartment and you necessarily don't get any of those benefits. You just kind of pay your rent and then move.
Yep.
So another advantage is it is easily accessible to hook up your RV to cable, to internet, as well as water and sewer at the campground. It's not difficult.
It's not difficult, and people have a misunderstanding. It's like, oh, you're living in a campground, you got really minimum. Nowadays campground is like top of the line facility. They got hooked up cable, water, everything is already there.
Yeah.
And it's so easy with the newer camp trailer and fifth wheel, whatever you got. It's so easy to hook it up. Inside it's almost make you feel like home.
Right.
You just for the internet and other stuff, you just need to make tiny little bit adjustment or do a little bit more research to fit what you need.
Yeah. If you're going to use a lot of internet and your campground, say, maybe doesn't have the best internet, you can always go to a Panera Bread or something like that.
Exactly. Or
you
just
always
get
have options.
More internet
for
your cell phone or whatever, because we were playing PlayStation and watching TV at the same time.
We did a lot.
With no problem without blowing the internet overages or causing us an arm either.
Right.
So.
Right. And that kind of brings me to another advantage is community. When you are in an RV community, people want to help you.
Exactly.
Legitimately want to help you.
You meet so many people from, we meet people from
Indiana,
exactly.
Missouri.
And they help they help.
Yes,
If you have
awesome.
problems or issue, they help. They talk about it every weekend on next to a campfire.
Yeah.
And the next morning, that you'll see them knocking on your doors to say, "Hey, I heard you need something last night.
Let me
there
help
you
you
go."
out. Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So it's much more friendly and everything. Sometimes if you worry that you don't know how to fix certain stuff, whatever, instead of being more secure, renting an apartment, counting on the apartment manager to fix your stuff.
Right.
There you go. Your 24/7 community there to help you out.
Yes, and they love to help you.
Exactly.
Trust me, you'll never be on your own.
Exactly. All you need is bring some better food at potluck.
Exactly.
To share
and
with
they
them.
love you.
And that's all you need.
And that's the other thing is they always hold some kind of like community event. So whenever there's something going on, that's a great time to like actually go meet people because I mean you can make some very nice friends.
Exactly.
Lifelong friends that you may never see again, but you connect.
Exactly. And that's the whole part about the benefit about traveling nurse. You guys travel is because you want to see outside your area.
Right.
You want to explore the U.S. or whatever. What's the better way to explore the U.S. with the community that the sole purpose is exploring the U.S.
They're going to be your best allies. Let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
So the last advantage to travel nursing in an RV is independence. And when I say independence, what I mean is if you get into a contract with a company and say for some reason the contract is canceled, you are sometimes held liable for the apartment that you rent under that contract because you signed a lease with that apartment. However, if you say get canceled and you're in an RV park, you're much more likely to get your money back as well as not having to worry about paying any additional fees by just moving someplace else, moving to another assignment, which is great.
Exactly. Like you got the advantage. If something happened, you don't rely for the rest of your rent or whatever it is, and you can just move. And it's always home. You can start your assignment like within a week because you can move like that, and without worrying the money of paying the deposit or other good stuff.
Exactly.
That's the flexibility that we experience. It's very convenient.
And a lot of the RV parks are very understanding. Now, I'm not going to say that all of them are like that. But a lot of the RV parks understand that if you get cancer or something happens, they might keep like a deposit, like a security deposit. But again, you're only out your security deposit. You're not out the whole 3 months.
But it's always about research. Just like, you guys research what assignment you should sign on. The same thing, go to your RV park, just research a little bit more in the RV park to see what rules, amenity they offer in the neighborhood and everything. Just to, be more secure and peace of mind.
Better to be
yourself.
safe than sorry.
Exactly.
So moving on to the disadvantages, as with anything, you're always going to have issues with something. So the first thing that I want to bring up is depending on the season as well as the location, it can be hard to find places to park your RV. It is great with apartments when the travel agency finds you a place to stay because it doesn't move. However, when it comes to actually parking your RV, sometimes they may only have a month available, sometimes they may only have a couple weeks and you're going to have to move. That's kind of the sucky part.
Yeah. But at the same time, you can't always look at the downside. The downside is, you need to do a lot of research. It depends on seasons and everything. You might need to move every month, in the surrounding areas. But look at it the other way is you explore more area. Just by moving it. And moving is not hard once you do it a couple times. It's like cake.
Exactly. And that's really the best part is you get to experience different areas depending on where you go. So I mean there's always something to do depending on where you're at.
Exactly.
So, and a lot of times I want to bring up with some parks will not offer monthly rentals to people to stay there. And sometimes depending on the park you might not want to stay there for a month. So you kind of do your research, weigh your options, and make sure that you're getting into someplace that's safe and, also pet friendly and family friendly. Because again, the park we stayed at did not allow kids during the time that we stayed there. However, they did allow our pets. So just do your research.
Exactly.
So another disadvantage, weather. You are literally living in a tin can. I hate to put it like that, but it is what it is. So with living in a tin can, if there is adverse weather conditions or advisories, I always say pay attention to that. Take it seriously, especially when you're living in an RV, and go find shelter or find a hotel or something. Because we have weathered a couple storms in the RV, and they to keep us up at night because it's literally a tin can. It sounds like, raindrops hitting a can,
but at the same time, if it's happened, if it's very serious, your neighbor is gonna warn you, or you see the whole campground evacuate anyway. It's not like you're by yourself.
Right.
You always have help and support, and you need to buy insurance for the RV anyway. So mostly it depends on what you got and everything. You buy whatever you can cover to protect your properties and yourself. So I mean, it's not a big deal, but if your pet, worry about storms and everything, then you might need to prepare. That's all. Preparation and research is always the most important thing. And once you do it, you know what to do, then in the long run, it's no big deal.
And a lot of RV parks have like sheltered areas and things of that nature. You don't always necessarily have to go to a hotel. However, if you are more comfortable, say, being in a hotel versus being in a shelter area with a whole bunch of other RVers, that's probably going to be your best option.
Exactly.
My last disadvantage is, like everything, things break down. Whether you're in an apartment or you're in an RV, there's always going to be something that you need to fix. Funny story, the first or second night that we were in our RV, we blew out the circuit. Didn't know how to fix it.
Yeah, we used a little too much at the same time.
Yeah, you have to, and I guess that's another disadvantage I didn't bring up, is you have to conserve your power, meaning you can't run your hair dryer, your refrigerator, your microwave, your stove, all of that at the exact same time.
Yeah, it's not like an apartment. You have unlimited power.
Right.
You got okay amount of power.
Yes.
It depends on what trailer you got, so you guys kind of need to
weigh what's more important, what you need to turn off and what you need to turn on. So, like I said, we blew our circuit out the first night. We drove to Lowe's to try to find circuit breakers to fit into the circuit.
Yep.
But it was a ridiculous amount of money. Just a heads up and a little, tip for y'all out there. Just go to an auto parts store. It's literally the exact same fuses that they use in cars and RVs. We replaced it, but it was.
I mean, things break no matter where you are. The best part about plumbing is they might not break at the same time, and even one break you can still use the others. But instead of a trailer, one break it might affect the others. Yeah. So just be prepared. It's not the end of the world either. Then you really got the true camping experience when something breaks.
Especially when it happens at nighttime and you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Make sure you got your flashlights.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's not the end of the world.
No.
Stuff breaks. It just help you learn more about how to survive life in minimum.
Right, and that's where that extra money comes in. So even though you're not spending that money in the apartment and having the convenience of having like a maintenance person to come fix whatever it is that you have issues with, you spend that money on your gas, your insurance, your incidentals in case something breaks down. So that's a nice cushion in case something happens.
Exactly, and if something not happen, then you save a lot of money.
And then you can go do something fun.
Exactly.
But that pretty much brings me to the end of our discussion regarding the pros and cons to living in an RV. If you have any additional questions, which I'm sure that you do, please leave them down below. We love to answer them. Always follow me on my social media. I have Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as my own blog, creationrn.com. But until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll see you later. Bye.